You call him the child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the balls to say it right now again? Okay. Alright, that's what you say. Nobody digging to you. That little kid, you call him the little child? Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old and the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can't be that.
I don't give a
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. Hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful midweek Wednesday. I'm doing well myself. We just witnessed probably a methed out, veneer wearing, subhuman piece of shit right here. Allegedly, well, it's not alleged, she did it. Calling a 5-year-old black child the N-word, okay? And of course, we hear a man in the background questioning her about her intentions and what she did as far as that's concerned. And she pretty much flat out said, yeah, I did it, and kept repeating the word. You see what I'm saying? Now, there's really no surprise to me that she did it, because this is where type like her, those type of subs like this is what they do. They look for soft targets to pick on, you know, and bully and call racial slurs when it comes down to black, so-called black folks. This is what they do. Now, but the thing is this, to get into this story right here, we got MAGA turns N-word shouting woman into folk hero and blames Texas stabbing case for outpouring of support. Daily Wire host Matt Walsh said he hopes Shiloh Hendrix, which is the little sub, little trash bag that called the baby that, you know, the N-word. That's her name, Shiloh Hendrix. Raised another $500,000 over the viral video of her calling a young child the N-word, saying it was time to start swinging back. You've been swinging, and back about what? You know what I mean? If anybody's time to start swinging back, it's so-called black people against racist, subhuman trash like yourself. That's basically what it boils down to. You've been swinging. You've been swinging. You've been doing too much swinging. The ones that needs to swing back is, like I said, us. That's what it is. Now, like I said, I'm not surprised that this pink bitch talked to that little fella like that. You see what I'm saying? I don't know where the parents was or whatever, but message to the parents, don't be letting your children wander around by themselves, especially around types like this, because you just never know when one of them might try to do something to them, or like in this case, you know, demean them in some kind of way. That's just what it is. But like I say, look at the outpouring support with GoFundMe. Now, I've seen GoFundMe take down GoFundMe pages and stuff like that, where they figure certain black folk shouldn't get GoFundMes for it. They will cancel the GoFundMe. But as you can see in this situation right here, hey, they let this trick right here make upwards $750 thousand. You know, the amount of money pretty much varies, because I've seen 670 or whatever, but that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? And that tells you what a lot of these subhuman trash bags thinks, you know, about our people. Okay, now to get into this article right here, it reads, a Minnesota woman who called a 5-year-old black child the N-word and then repeated that racial slur multiple times in a viral video while defending her actions has raised over $700,000. You see, $750,000 as she has become cultural folk hero to much of the American far right. The crowdfunding campaign for Shiloh Hendrix, which she initially posted after she shot to infamy over her confrontation with a Somalian American man in a playground, has taken off after the online right viewed it as a form of backlash over the funds raised in support of Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is a young black man that was minding his business when two bullies, they were twins, went over to him and told him at a track meet he couldn't sit under a tent. Carmelo Anthony pretty much told him that he gonna sit where he want to, don't put your hands on me. One of the twins refused to listen, and one of the twins is no longer on this side, of this dispensation and time. He got his life took. And that's just all there is to it. And they up in arms about that. This was definitely self-defense. Okay? Those brothers, the twin brothers, White, was known for bullying people. Okay? This is, what talk is about that. And like I said, Carmelo Anthony was minding his business. See, the problem is with subhumans. They think that they have the right to come and offend you, assault you, and everything else, and you just supposed to just lay down and take it. Let them have what they want to do with you. Nah, it don't work like that, you idiots. But to continue, Anthony, a black high school student, has been charged with first-degree murder over the stabbing death of a white teenager, Austin Metcalf, at a track meet in Texas. The case has drawn attention in conservative circles, especially after Anthony's legal defense raised over $500,000 on the crowdfunding app Give, Send, Go. Okay? Makes no difference though. That's a different thing right there. And y'all, you just show how low life you are. How low can you get? You lower than a rat's ass. You see what I'm saying? To GoFundMe, a little toothless veneer wearing trash bag calling a baby the N-word. That's just how low you, man, golly. Ugh. But anyway, besides using the Hendrix incident as a way to exhibit their own form of vice signaling, over the Anthony case, a large portion of the MAGA crowd has also seen their support of her as part of their fight against anti-white racism and the cancel culture mob. I'm glad she raised $500,000. I hope she raises $500,000 more. Daily Wire podcaster Matt Walsh tweeted this week sharing a video that featured a 20-minute monologue on why he backs Hendrix. You back her because you a fellow subhuman piece of shit. That's why you backed him. There he is right here. This Matt Walsh. That's why you backed him. Y'all, the world, I'm going to tell you this. For types like this right here, these types, these two you see before you, when the Most High come back and dispense with you low life, I'm telling you, the fir trees, everything's going to be at peace when you are gone. Carry on my wayward son. There will be peace when you are gone. Yeah, that song, I can't remember the name of the song. But anyway, yeah, there's going to be peace when y'all ass gone. Peace. That's what we want. Okay. To continue, in the video, which was filmed by 30-year-old Shamark Omar in a Minnesota public park, Hendrix admits that she called a young Somalian boy the N-word because he took my son's stuff. She then goes on to repeat the slur multiple times before seemingly justifying her actions during the filmed confrontation with Omar. If that's what he's going to act like, well, what you acting like? Sub? You acting like a subhuman piece of shit. Okay, so you deserve that title right there. Let's continue. Hendrix says when he asked by Omar why she used the N-word to describe the child, Omar told NBC News that the child is on the autism spectrum and that the parents whom he knows have expressed support in filing charges against Hendrix, and a local chapter of the NAACP has raised more than $300,000 for the family since the video went viral. Local police, meanwhile, have said they completed an investigation of the incident. I called the child out for what he was, Hendrix wrote in her fundraising plea, adding that she's been doxxed. I am asking for your help to assist in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. Bye. Your ass, you just trying to get some money anyway. Relocate your ass on the other side of hell. How about that? You see what I mean? The world don't need folks like you. You bring this on yourself anyway. Let's continue. Like other viral video incidents, a lot of the facts aren't clear. The man who shot the video claimed the child Hendrix allegedly accosted is autistic. Some of Hendrix's supporters, meanwhile, have suggested the child is actually quite older, comparing the child's height with the height of some playground equipment. The Bulwark's Will Summers wrote. They argue that the child is roughly 10, which apparently would be a far more defensible age to call the boy a racial slur. There's never a defensible age for being called a racial slur. You stupid ass. You see the subhuman rhetoric, the way they see things. Stupid. You see? Medic critic Parker Molly argued in her The Present Age newsletter that the far-right wing wagon circling around Hendrix was the most grotesque example I've seen recently of what some people call vice signaling. The conservative moment's twisted mirror images of virtue signaling, where people donate money specifically to show support for the reprehensible behavior. Yeah, that's what subs do. They don't have no filter whatsoever, and then they have the nerve to think they right about something. Talking about some anti-white racism. Get out of here with that. That's all y'all been doing. You just getting what getting back what you brung. That's all that is. Let's continue. We saw similar dynamics with Kyle Rittenhouse, Daniel Penny, and others who become right-wing causes. Celebra. She added, the playbook is simple. Do or say something awful, get rightfully called out for it. Claim victimhood and watch the money roll in from people who want to show their support for what you did while pretending it's about free speech or fighting cancel culture. That's what they do. That's what they do. Some of the most notorious voices on the right, such as white wannabe supremacists and Donald Trump's dinner guest, Nick Fuentes, have explicitly invoked the Anthony fundraiser while voicing their support for Hendrix. Black people just raised $500,000 for a cold-blooded killer who stabbed a white teenager to death. He posted, so I don't want to hear one word about Shiloh Hendrix fundraiser. Either everybody gets to be tribal or nobody does. Well, it don't make no difference what your dumb ass want to hear, because number one, in my opinion, Carmelo Anthony was just defending himself. That's what you would say if the shoe was on the other foot and it happened to you. Two black giant dudes jumped in, I stabbed one another. I had to defend myself. What else do you want? You know what I mean? And then they would be sending probably hundreds of thousands of dollars to you. You see what I mean? This is how they think. See? But I don't care nothing about that. Let's continue. Mega podcaster Tim Pool said that while calling children racist slurs is crass and crude, the support for Hendrix shows white guilt is over. She's making money, he added. She sends a message to other white people. Stop taking racial abuse. Playing the victim as they normally do. The first ones to hit. Playing the victim. See, this is what, man, please, this is tired. While other social media provocateurs sounded off and said they backed Hendrix on principle to fight gay race communalism. Wash, the creative voice and star behind the hit right-wing documentary I Am Racist Question, provided Hendrix campaign a massive boost while delivering his audience a justification for supporting her. Oh, strike one up for the white low-life subhuman that called a child the N-word. Wow. You going down in his, that's weak as hell. The latest race baiting story followed the cancel culture script, right up until the twist ending. Shiloh Hendrix didn't apologize. Wash wrote on Facebook celebrating the amount of money she raised. Yes, Shiloh said something offensive. No one's excusing it. Yes, you are. But she didn't deserve to be treated like a domestic terrorist. Yes, she does. He continued, and that's what her supporters understood. That's why they gave, because they weren't just donating to a person. They were drawing a line in the sand. This is weak as hell, man. I'm telling you, weak. They saw the pitchforks coming out again and decided it was time to start swinging back. Y'all weak. Ooh, this y'all weak. Y'all is weak. You weak. Disgusting. In his podcast episode about Hendrix and the positive reaction she's received from the right wing, Wash repeatedly said this was all about destroying the cancel culture mob once and for all. Yet while repeatedly downplaying the racial slur she used, Wash himself wouldn't actually bring himself to say the word out loud and tries to explain his reasoning. If black people want white people to not say the N-word, well, say the word, then they need to not say it. If you say it, then everyone else can say it. Yeah, that's what y'all want. And to some degree, I do agree with, our people calling, that same label among ourselves, because it was given to us by subhumans. You see what I mean? We should not demean ourselves with that. But yet and still, they do it. It's in rap music, it's on TV, and I ain't never liked it. But subs want the right to be able to come up to you and say, hey, nigga, what's up? Hey, nigger, how you doing, nigger? That's what they want to do. You see what I'm saying? And they normally, when they do some shit like that, they get slapped in the head, get knocked on the head, kicked in the face. All kinds of bad things happen to them. And that's why they can't figure it out. What you guys call yourselves that? Why can I say it? You see what I mean? Say something. Say it again. You see that kind of stuff. That's what they want to be able to be freely just go ahead and say, how you doing, nigger? Without getting slapped in the head. Let's continue. Point blank, it's that simple. That's how life works. Deal with it, he exclaimed. It's just a word. It's a vulgar word. Wash added. It's a rude word. It's a word that black people shouldn't say for the same reason they shouldn't use any other vulgarity. I'm using N-word right now instead of using the actual word for the same reason. I would use F-word or C-word instead of those actual words. Still, the rise of Hendrix as a mega folk hero has made some conservative pundits a bit uneasy. Former college swimmer turned anti-trans activist Riley Gaines, for instance, asked if the massive fundraising haul was a joke, before noting that the right didn't need a white Carmelo Anthony. She also wondered, what's the goal in rewarding Hendrix? Right, what is the goal? It's nothing, it's just weak. Others, such as the Babylon Bees, Seth Dillon, expressed concern about the motivations behind many of those amplifying Wash's support for Hendrix. For them, it's not about the end of cancel culture, but the success of tribal witnesses that the case represents, and which they're pretending Matt has endorsed, Dillon noted. Okay, and this is Carmelo Anthony right here that was actually defending himself. You know what I mean? And they mad about that. That's not the same as calling somebody a child. You know what I mean? N-word. This dude was actually fighting for his life right here. Okay, now to continue here in conclusion, Go Sin Go, a so-called Christian platform that has become the go-to passage for Trumpist rage, finally decided to step in after both the Anthony and Hendrix donation pages received a flood of offensive posts in recent days. At Give Sin Go, We recently disabled comments on the fundraising campaigns for Carmelo Anthony and Shiloh Hendrix due to an unacceptable volume of racist and derogatory remarks. The platform co-worker Jacob Wells tweeted on Friday. At the time comments were turned off, both campaigns had raised approximately $500,000 with around 15,000 donors each. A lot of money, but hey, Carmelo Anthony, he needs a lot of money for his defense. This right here, what y'all doing, this mega shit, turning this toothless hoe into a folk hero is weak. It's weak. Y'all just gave away y'all hard-earned money. But that's how stupid you are. In conclusion here, stating that the comments posted don't represent values of hope, compassion, and fairness, he said that the campaign would allow both campaigns to collect funds and ensure they are delivered to the recipients. We took action to stop the spread of divisive rhetoric while ensuring these campaigns continue to serve their intended purpose. He concluded, we call for the respectful dialogue and understanding even in challenging situations. Okay, whatever, man. It's like I said, weak. As you can see right here, support your race. And I say sub rhetoric. That's all this is. And this little ugly little trailer, I done said enough about this wet noodle. You understand? But tell me what you guys think. That's if you can comment, because I believe we got people like this behind the scenes. You understand? I mean, making sure you can't comment. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, thanks for trying just the same. Make sure you try to like, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.